Hey, buddy, watch this.
Hello, Regis Kilbin is the name, and Hearthstone is the game, and this is my Gadgetzan Budget Jade Shaman deck. So as you can probably tell from the name, this deck is one that includes the new mechanic from Mean Streets of Gadgetzan, the Jade Golems. There are a handful of Jade Golem cards in this deck, thankfully. The Shaman Jade Golem cards are actually rather affordable. Only Jade Claws is a rare, and in fact, Jade Lightning is a common, Jade Chieftain is a common, and even the neutral card Jade Spirit is a common, so it's pretty cheap to fit all of these Jade Spirit cards into a single list. You really only have to break the bank for Jade Claws, but that's an awfully good card that is even being played outside of Jade Golem lists, so it seems like it's certainly a reasonable card to craft just because it's a solid early game weapon and there's some weapon synergies, and weapons are good. So that's not the only thing that this deck does, though. It's not just about like late game Jade Golem value. Since you're missing the legendary Aya Blackpaw, it's a little bit harder to go just ham with Jade Golem stuff because, of course, she summons you two Jade Golems, and typically they're your latest Jade Golems. So it's harder to get those bigger and bigger and bigger in this deck. So this does another thing, which synergizes with Jade Golems in a way. This is essentially kind of a zoo-style deck, a minion-based deck that's all about building a wide board full of minions, something which Shaman is typically good at anyway, thanks to its hero power, because you can always just summon another 2-mana minion with your hero power, even if you don't have any more to play from your hand. But this also includes some cheap minions, some sticky minions, minions that summon multiple minions, so essentially a lot of different pieces that help you build a nice little board, including Jade Golems that summon. So for instance, the Jade Spirit summons you 2 minions. Razorfin Hunter, 2 minions. Argent Squire is a really sticky, cheap minion. Jade Chieftain summons you 2 minions, etc. So there's clearly a theme. Even your weapons summon you a minion. So it's easy to get wide boards in this deck, and then the mid to late game cards here are all about synergizing off of those wide boards with lots of minions. That means Bloodlust to win you games. That means Frostwolf Warlords to get really efficient big minions. This will often come out as at least a 6/6, 7/7, 8/8, etc. Stormwind Champion to buff that big board. Even early game cards like Flametongue Totem work really well when you have a lot of minions. And then, of course, there's just other pieces in here, weapons, some card draw, hard removal. So it's got a little bit of everything. It's got a nice solid curve. It's not a aggro deck by any means. I would classify this as more of a mid-range deck. You can be pretty aggressive and win games quickly if you curve out perfectly, but you can also go toe-to-toe in the mid-game and really gain an advantage off cards like Fire Elemental, Frostwolf Warlord, and then just win the game on those surprise Bloodlusts. So, this is the full budget version of the list, and as I always say, if you've watched any of my budget videos, these are budget decks. This only costs 600 arcane dust to craft. That's it. 600 arcane dust. That's as cheap as it gets to build a competitively viable deck. But that said, this deck is not designed to take you to Legend. It's not that good. There are going to be better decks, better cards, and good players playing them the higher and higher you get. So as with most of my budget decks, I really think this one caps out around rank 15, maybe rank 12 if you're very dedicated and make some substitutions, perhaps even rank 10 with some lucky win streaks and so on. So don't expect to ride this all the way to the top, but this is a great deck to get started from rank 25 to rank 15. If you're trying to learn a class, trying to build some cards, want to play Shaman, this could be the deck for you. But if you do have more dust and you do have more cards available, I've actually also built an upgraded version of this list that essentially takes that base list, adds in a few new cards here and there that still fits the same playstyle and same mentality, but just makes you better at what you do. So, namely, there's Lightning Storms here to give you some AoE removal, something that you're drastically missing in that previous version of the deck. It's really, really nice to have just to help you swing the board. You've got Tuskar Totemic, which is really kind of the same thing as gosh, I'm blanking on the name of the 3-mana card. I already said it. The Razorfin Hunter. Same idea, but in many ways the Totemic can do better stuff for you. It's a little bit more aggressively statted, and totems are nice because they can do things like spell damage and so on. Flame Wreath Faceless is tossed in here just as another giant minion, of course, a big threat. So this Flame Wreath Faceless, the Frostwolf Warlord can both just be giant bodies that your opponent can't deal with. We also squeeze in something from Below's. Just a really nice value card, can often come out as a really cheap big body. And it has Taunt, which is nice because it's a pretty aggressive meta these days. So the more taunts you can hide behind, the better in that mid game if you're able to just shut out those Pirate Warriors. Also, of course, this does synergize with the Tuskar Totemic. Totemic is a card that got nerfed, and it's not nearly as good as it used to be, since it can only summon basic totems these days, but it still fits this list. It's still a solid card, and it's only a common, so it's certainly not going to break the bank for you to craft this bad boy. And that's it, really. Just a few new rares here with the Lightning Storms thing from Below's, a couple new commons. And this is essentially the 1200 Dust version of this deck. Now, one thing you'll note is I did drop the Argent Squire from this list. There were some Argent Squires in the previous version of the list. You might be saying, did I waste my dust on Argent Squires? Well, the answer is no. They're great cards. They'll be run in various decks. And second off, you can actually include them in this deck if you want. Just depending on how you feel about your curve and how the meta is in particular, you could do things like drop Frostwolf Warlords for 2 Argent Squires if you're facing a lot of fast decks, right? You can maybe even drop Stormwind Champions if the meta is super fast and you need these taunts and these mid-game bodies, but you want an earlier start. So you can be flexible with those and add them back in and take out cards as you see fit. So don't be sad if you are feeling like you wasted your dust on those Argent Squires. You certainly did not. So this is the 1200 Dust upgraded list. Here is the full budget list one last time. And now that we've seen it, now that we've talked about it, let's go ahead and play some games. And I will say that I am too high right now of a rank to play this deck in ranked. There's 2 reasons for that. Number 1 is that I don't want to lose ranks because I actually want to ladder a little bit this season. And number 2 is this is far beyond, rank 8 is far beyond what I think this deck is designed to do. So I'm afraid if we go into rank 8, we'll just get stomped 4 straight times and we won't have any good games. It's alright if we lose 4 straight times, that's can happen, but I want them to be good games that showcase the deck, that teach us the lines of play, so we can see good mulligans against real meta decks. But rank 8 is just going to be too harsh of an environment. This is a rank 15, a rank 12 deck. So let's go ahead and take this into casual instead. I know casual is not always a perfect representation of the meta either. You can run into some strange decks. You can run into some people who aren't trying that hard, but I still think that's going to give us a better estimation of what this deck is all about than would ranked. So we're going to have to take the lesser of 2 evils here. As far as the mulligans are concerned, you're really just looking for your earliest game minions. Argent Squires are perfect above everything else. You're tossing back all the 7 drops, of course. Those are going to be way, way too slow. Against weapon classes, you're probably looking for Acidic Swamp Ooze pretty hard. We have enough early game 2s and 1s and 3s that we can send back this Razorfen and look for other pieces. Sometimes you might want to consider keeping a 3, but it paid off because we got our Argent Squire, and that's a great turn 1 play. Oh, that's a great turn 2, too, so we're on a solid curve here. We've got an answer to an early Edwin Van Cleef if that's something that comes out. My guess is that this is going to be either a Mill Rogue or some sort of Burgle-type Rogue, because if he's in casual mode playing Rogue, I expect shenanigans, but we'll see. Can't complain about our curve here. I don't think I'd mind Mill too much. That gets us to Bloodlust faster. It means we probably just draw into a win condition and continue loading up the board really nicely. He's going for the... No, I thought we were going to see... We are going to see a Van Cleef. I have the Hex, but we can't cast it yet, so we're going to have to eat 1 Van Cleef. That's so funny that we called it. That is so funny. Taunt Totem would be a dream. That's fine too. If he goes face, it's cool. We still have the Hex. That's the play next turn no matter what. Hopefully he doesn't do something else good. But he used a lot of gas there. A coin, a prep, and an Evis. Yeah, so Burgle, that's actually pretty good for us because it's just a little bit slow. I don't love that he drew so many cards, of course. We don't really know what he got. So that's a little sad, but... gosh, Jade Lightning is almost an answer. We could have done 6 damage with the Jade Lightning. And I would have had his Van Cleef been a lower Van Cleef, a 6/6. I would have saved the Hex, even though there's probably not a better Hex target right away. Oh, that's a perfect Jade Lightning target, too. Jeez. Just tossing that out there for me. Flame Tongue would be a choice, possibly. Like, we could trade, but since we don't have a good way to spend the mana, it's just not worth it. We'll go ahead and pull this off. It's weird that he threw down a Brand. That's an unusual play. You would think he'd want to get value out of his Brand. I think he thought it was probably going to live and he could just make a good little trade or two. I don't know. Still surprising. So the Fire Ellie is going to be a fantastic card to play here. It's just a fantastic card in general, honestly. Fire Ellie is just so strong. I can't kill the Huckster right away, but the best thing it trades into is my Wrath of Air, so it's alright. There's other stuff we could have done, by the way. We could have Flame Tongued and cleared the board. Trade, played a Razorfen, but I just like getting these guys out as soon as possible. They're not good. Well, they're not good for him to sap. They are good for him to Shadow Strike, though. And we can always load up the board later, too, right? Here we might Stormwind Champ, but I doubt it. So Ancestral Knowledge was one of his cards he got off of us. I don't guess we've seen the others just yet. Makes me sad he hasn't weaponed up yet. We got an Acidic Swamp Ooze. So here we're just going to play wide in anticipation of a Stormwind Champion or a Flame Tongue Totem. This is debatable. I guess we'll do it. We have enough minions that if he trades this way, we're still going to be fine. It's a slow play. We're going to be in a good spot here. We'll be able to play the Stormwind. He'll trade into one of our 1/1s. So that's still going to be a bit of an annoying minion. But we can send this 2/2 into this guy. We'll have a huge 6/6, and we'll send some damage to face too. There's really no urgency to kill this for him, you know? He might trade it in and kill it just to try to get a card. I would probably make the value trade still. But if we kill it for him, like, he gets the card and gets to make his decisions based on the card. If it's his turn and he makes a trade to kill it himself to get the card, he's already made a trade, so it could somehow impact what he's trying to do, right? So if you don't have to give them that Death Rattle resource, there's really no reason to. But I guess we'll kill it. It's fine. It does make our board more likely to survive, so we're gonna have a good turn regardless. Two 3/4s is hard to deal with. A 6/6 is probably hard to deal with. I mean, he might have another Shadow Strike weapon, something like that. But even then, he takes 6 to the face. Shadow Strike Fan. There's obviously options. He's 8 cards. Quite a few are Shaman cards at this point. We don't know what the Lotus Agent got either. Prep Burgle. Nice. So many cards. That's really scary. I told you it was going to be Burgle shenanigans, didn't I? I warned you. Ugh, that's scary. That's scary. We might just have lethal here. What do we have? 9 plus 3 is 12 plus 4. Oh, we got a taunt though. Shoot. We were going to be at 16 at least this turn. Now we're not. Oh man, that Grim Patron's scary. He doesn't have the mana to hero power, thankfully, so. How do we want to do this? We can Flame Tongue and trade here. Trade here. Jade Claws does not allow me to kill this very easily, though. Let's Novice Engineer first, because it might make an impact on how we make our play. Okay, cool. that looks familiar. How do I want to do this? I guess I don't think I'm actually going to kill the 3/3. I think I'm just going to leave that there. The Silver Hand here. That way I can send 8 to face more easily. I think I have to kill the Grim Patron just to prevent any sort of crazy, stupid shenanigan type stuff. Definitely gonna totem. I guess we're kind of all in a little bit, but oh, that's a good draw. It's a good roll. This is a little too far left, by the way. It just I should have actually played the Novice Engineer on the far left side. The other ones were kind of unavoidable, but this should be over here. I think we're in a good spot regardless. I mean, there's possibilities he can clear. Double Lightning Storm, Elemental Destruction. Like, it's doable. Sap is good, but gives us a good minion back, right? Like, if minions are out on the board, he knows that this is 4 damage now. Oh, that's good. Jeez. We'll be able to get through it. Bloodlust, I think, is guaranteed lethal. We'll have a 4 attack, 6 attack, 8 attack to get through this, so we'll be able to send 4 to face or trades. Pilfered Power, Ancestral Healing. Okay. I dig it. That's obviously a good clear for him. Frostwolf Warlord. Do I want to do that instead of the Stormwind? No, because I think we have to kill this turn, so we want to make sure we can get this down. We can always do this next turn too. We'll go ahead and destroy his weapon too, even though it probably won't matter. It theoretically could. So we have, let's see, we need to do 8. We can do 4, 6, 9, 4, 6, 7. We could do 8 here, and I could save 7 health. Is 7 health worth the extra minion? I really don't think it is. I think I'd rather keep the healing totem alive, just as a sort of stall mechanic. So I'll take some damage to the face. We'll go ahead and play the second one because it's going to be a big dude, and we just want the weapon up too. So that Ancestral Healing really did help him. I mean, well, so did the Earth Alley. He got some decent taunts somehow out of that. So he has at least one good trade here, but that opens up our weapon for a clear. So he has to figure out some other mechanisms to... We're not dead. Oh, I was going to say, he's got to be... 2 cards can't kill us at 11 health. Yeah, cool. Yeah, nice win. You can see how the Jade Golems start to add up to pretty quick value there. You can see how annoying Stormwind Champion is. Really underrated card, I think, in general. For Shaman in particular and wide board classes like this. I mean, it's hard to find the right deck for it, but when you do, it's actually a really strong card. 7 mana, 6/6 is solid. The effect is actually kind of crazy strong. So... not a bad one. So Acidic Swamp Ooze here is pretty awful. Flame Tongue's actually really bad against Priest as well, because they can just Shadow Repaint it and do all kinds of stuff. So we're gonna toss this back. We can probably play a little slower against Priest. If we get a fast start, we'll go for it. But if we don't, if we mess up the mulligan, if we get some bad cards, it's okay. We can still make it work. Because we have Burst, essentially, with Bloodlust, and hopefully they eventually run out of board clears, that kind of thing. I didn't want to totem. Thankfully, it's a risk if you get the Searing Totem and the 1/1. It gives him a free card draw, so... this was a really fortunate draw. It doesn't give me a great... It actually does give me a great turn 2, because now I can Flame Tongue to clear. Oh, he's going to heal it still. Cool. Yeah, I don't mind. He used a lot of resources to draw that card. I mean, he gave up the coin. The health actually still doesn't matter a ton, but... This is a surprisingly threatening little board already we've built. If we can survive into this Frostwolf, it's going to be sick. So... I can go to 6, but I cannot get to 7 right now. Is that worth a Hex? Oh, man, I guess it is. It kind of sucks, but... He can't do anything on turn 4, so... I think this is going to live. There's no coin holding over or anything. Could be a Shadow Word Pain, Shadow Word Death, maybe. But if he deaths that, I'm in a good spot. Kazakus is sort of annoying. But I get a good 6/6 Warlord here. I think I have to kill the Kazakus. Oh, I'll tell you what I could do. I could use the Flame Tongue to trade. But I don't guess that'd be worth it. So I guess we'll just do this. It's not my favorite play ever. But I want to protect the Flame Tongue if I can. The Kazakus is just a free trade into the Flame Tongue. So sending 5 to face doesn't feel great. 5 mana 6/6 is not a 4 mana 7/7, but it doesn't have overload, so arguably better. We're behind in this game though, pretty far right now, because he was able to stabilize nicely, and he's just gonna have a more valuable experience than we are always. Actually, let's do this way. This guy on the left, so that the 1/1 absorbs the buff, and it's debatable here what we want to buff. I'm gonna go ahead and buff the Flame Tongue. It makes it an even better Shadow Word Pain target or a Cabal Shadow Priest target, but I'm hoping to play. Just hope that doesn't happen, right? I gotta kind of play to my outs a little bit, so it makes it slightly more likely that it lives to AOE or not. So this doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel good either. I don't have a great turn here. I think we just do this to set up for a nice big Stormwind champion. But this is going to be a tough game to win at this point without top decking some card draw or something, because he's still got 8 cards, like just so many resources in hand, and we're not really ahead. He's at 36 health, so we're -6 from where we started, down quite a few cards. So we need Jade Lightning value. I mean Jade Golem value. We need stuff to happen soon, essentially. This will be a decent turn for me, actually. Jade Golem trade is a clear, and we get a nice little dude. Actually, even more dudes. So that's pretty nice. There's a debate here. Do I want to just hero power? We've already seen a lot of AoE. Well, one AoE. I shouldn't say a lot. Let's go for it, right? We got to play to our outs. Probably should have played this on the left again. It's debatable because of the hero power. We'll see. I want to put this on the left eventually, but yeah, it's running the full AoE suite here. I have not seen Excavated Evil and Reno Priest in a while. It's usually Dragonfire and Holy Nova, from my experience. So not the best draw, necessarily. We'll see how it goes. If we can stick a couple of these, sure, but it's just not very likely. He did use a death, so this could be hard to remove without Entomb. Maybe Entomb comes down. Or, you know, just Ysera. Jeez. So this will set up a nice little trade with the second Stormwind here. Jade Chieftain would also be good, but I have to Stormwind here just to get this trade off. I'm sure he got Ysera Awakens. Not that it would help a ton here. We got a couple 7/7s, but he could trade Ysera's Awakens, tidy up my board pretty nicely. But you know, there's a chance he goes face, and we top deck Bloodlust, and we're just like in a spot to win the game. If he doesn't kill my guys, I think I'll have to trade them into Ysera, even though it really sucks. Oh, that's a whiff. That's a whiff. That's good. That's the best outcome there, actually. Because now this can trade this way, and that couldn't have. So we dodge that bullet. He'll trade Ysera in here, maybe. We dodge that bullet. Let's dodge a couple more bullets. Jeez. So the good news is think we're going to clear his board is the good news. Or not clear his board, but clear a lot of his board. I think Ysera is going to live. I could keep this alive at 1 health. Do I want to do that? If I do, this takes 3 damage, right? Assuming Chilmaw goes off. I could play this. This goes to 7 health. We trade. It kills everything except Ysera. This goes to 4 health. It's really bad if you got Ysera Awakens, but otherwise it's the better play. Again, I think I have to play my outs and hope he just didn't draw Ysera Awakens. Oh, this will still die. I'm really bad at math. This will still die. I forgot. I'm bad. Oh! Oh! I called his bluff! I called his bluff! Why am I so bad at math? So I was thinking this would live at 1, but I forgot to calculate that, of course, it's going to do 3 damage to my own guy, too. What a stupid mistake. But somehow it worked out. It actually worked out. It's hilarious. So that basically, my misplay bought me a mind control tech. Like, it earned me a mind control tech minion for free. But we're just not going to be able to recover here. We don't run any AoE. Ysera is generating absurd value. So if we got a Hex, like maybe, but we don't have the Hex. We used our Hex on a Doomsayer. Like, that's the life we're living right now. So we gotta go for a wide board and just hope he starts ignoring stuff and we can pull some sort of trick. But he's gonna be at 30. It's just not possible at this point. We're just losing. Priest is a pretty tough matchup. Too much AoE. Priest and Reno Lock, both Reno style variants, are tough on us. He has not had a dragon. Sad. So don't be an idiot like me and make a terrible play with Stormwind Champions. That's actually pretty bad oversight. So we have like an answer, but like an out. But it's just going to require some major oversight on his, or major misses on his part, some major lack of attention for this to stick. This is actually a bad trade, it looks like. He may not want to trade this way. Never mind, that makes it better. That makes it much better. At least this will die. Alright, let's see what we get. Jade Claws. Okay. We're alive. I mean, we're technically alive, guys. We're never going to catch up, but by God, we're going to try, right? We're going to play it out. The 6th straight Ysera turn has been a real issue. Looks like we might be dead till like Ysera Awakens. Or not dead, but close to dead. Yeah, we don't have an out here. Oh, we even got oozed. That's a rough life. So that's a slight stall, but certainly won't be enough. Well played. It's pretty nice when you can build a board like that. Imagine if his board was empty and we were able to stick that kind of thing from a fresh draw, from one draw, right? 3 minions. I think he wants to be our friend, but you guys can't see that. He wants to be our friend. What do you think? Is it worth it? Should we try? No, we won't do it. Have a feeling it wouldn't go well for him. Have a feeling he doesn't want to be on video. So we'll try another game, see how it goes. Okay, warrior. Don't know. Probably pirate warrior if we had to guess, but It's hard to say. We'll mulligan all this. We need faster cards. Argent Squire, number one choice. Totem Golem's good. Ooze is great. So we're not bad. Yeah, we'll hold here. Coin could be valuable on getting this out earlier. Yeah, it looks like some sort of pirate slash weapon slash aggressive type of warrior. This is a good draw, actually. Just because it removes this immediately. Gets us a minion out to kill patches, whatever. Can still play the Totem Golem on the following turn. Doesn't reduce the amount of attack we have because we still have 3 attack. It lines up worse against that, though. I mean, gosh. That's unlucky. If we'd played the Totem Golem out, we'd have been in a better spot to kill this. But he might have played something different, of course. Killed this with a Fire War Axe, etc. So he gets a good kill here, but we can trade back. Oh! Oh, thank you! Nice! I'll take that all day. All day. I'll destroy that too, I don't mind. We're gonna be in a good spot. He's gonna have an empty board and we're gonna have some minions. I love it. We're gonna go for this. We're not overloaded, so we could have a huge Frostpool Warlord coming out here. It's gonna be an 8/8 maybe. Nope. It's not going to be an 8/8. It's still going to be a 5/5, though. Could get a good win. Nope. We'll do this instead. It's, you know, it's fine. We're going to reload, and this is going to be there next turn, too, so. We'll just keep going wide. We might even wait till 7 on this so we can totem with it, depending on what lives and what doesn't live. Okay. Wouldn't mind seeing a weapon. There's another one coming, so this is gonna get some value. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do this. This is not gonna get much better than this. We'll kill one of these just to make it more likely that this somehow survives. Fortunately, we don't have a great way to clean that up, but we'll destroy that again. Sure. He's still gonna get it. That makes me sad, but he's taking 7 to the face, so. We can live with that. The only problem with this turn is that we lose our Jade Golem. We can't play the Golem. Yeah, I can still get 3 guys out though. So, and I'm going to destroy the weapon, so it's worth it. We overload for 1, so this can come back next turn. This thing is going to get extra value than I'd like, but we'll be all right. He has 1 buffed weapon. Oh my word. Need that Hex. That's actually the best possible outcome for us, for sure. Do we want to do this instead? Because it's better against Ragnaros. Essentially, you know, if we put 2 bigger targets out there, if Rag's more likely to hit a good target. If we put a few worse targets out there, Rag is less likely to hit a good target. There might be a chance we can just push him over. Without Rag, like if Rag can hit a totem, even best case scenario, Rag kills a 3/4 instead of a 5/5. So while we find a Flame Tongue Totem or a Hex or something, we can save this up as a big reload. That's going to be hard for me to kill. I need Rag to hit the Healing Totem or my face. You can do it, Rag. Yeah, it's not the worst. Alright, so that'll help. Man, there's no good math here, though. Shoot. No good math. Because we can only do 7 to Rag. Because you can see here, if I play it in the middle, which is where it should be played, we can do 5, 2 to clear this. Rag is still alive, so I think we just have to ignore Rag, unfortunately. Because this does 5 and this does 2. So, we gotta do this right so that this lives, since we're gonna ignore Rag. We want more minions up. We'll play this over here. We're susceptible to another Brawl. By the way, it's weird that he runs Brawl. I don't know what kind of deck this is. I guess the control weapon was not expecting Brawl. It's okay, we might kill his Rag too, so there's still some advantage to him brawling, right? Oh, we got a good minion out of it too. Not our best, but... Double Brawl. That's frustrating, I'll be honest. This must be a weapon still. What is that weapon? Gorehowl? It must be Gorehowl, so this is gonna suck. It's gonna die to Gorehowl, but it's gonna do a ton of damage in the meantime. Taunt Totem? Never lucky. Never lucky. So he's gonna Gorehowl this, and he's gonna go down to 11. We'll be able to hit him for 3 down to 8. A 9-2 Gorehowl. My god. That's great. Oh, Shield Slam's good too. This is gonna get some value. God. That's good. I need to go wide and find a Bloodlust, basically. Gorehowl's not good against a wide board. He can only attack one thing at a time. Taunt Totem last turn probably would have won me the game. It would have been significant enough. So Baron Geddon is bad. Third Brawl is going to be bad. Third Brawl. You must have a Blood Dicker or a Whirlwind Effect, Ravaging Ghoul. Yeah. Could have done it the other way around, by the way. Yeah, don't worry. We've all made misplays today, sir. Don't you worry. I'm never going to be able to get ahead of his 2 minions here if I just summon a totem every turn. So the Flame Tongue Totem sitting in hand, I don't know that it's ever going to get more valuable over time. Plus, I have to worry about my face. He has 13 damage right now. Not to mention, this can attack twice, so it could do 15 on its own right now to my face. So I kind of hate having to do this, but I think I have to proactively kill some minions here. Even though it's really bad. Because Flame Tongue Totem is very likely. I might even have to Hex the Ravaging Ghoul and hope he top decks something very, very useless. Ugh, this is rough. This sucks. Trades. I guess I have to save the Hex. It's actually a tough call, though. Knowing that his deck runs Rag and probably Baron Geddon or Sylvanas or Justicar or some other minion. Jade Lightning's a great draw if I could get that. It's actually a solid draw. Taunt Totem's clutch because it helps protect the 5/5 here. It's great. Hopefully he doesn't have his Shield Slam. He might because he drew a dead card last turn. Acolyte. That is actually worth hexing, I think. Because he's top decking right now. We don't want him to get one extra card. Like, it actually makes a big difference. Give me a good... Oh, that's a good draw, too. Alright, that's 8 mana, so we can play all 3 of these. So actually, you can heal a 3. It probably won't matter because he's got the Gorehowl, but Gorehowl's still at 7. But if he hits his face with this, that's fine because it takes him down to 6, and then we have close to lethal on board, right? He's gonna armor up, but Taunt Totems would always be so good. That's a Execute, unfortunately. It sucks. And that's a who knows what? Acidic Swamp Ooze. Yeah, I actually have weapons, so Hex. Gosh, that's not good. That's good. Oh, we need a Fire Ellie. We need, that has to be hexed, I think. He's not going to use the weapon on these. He's scared to. Storm and Champion is a good draw, actually. It's right on curve, so, can make this work. He's going to be able to kill it with his weapon. Unfortunately, the weapon has lined up every time. But again, it's damage to his face, so He's at 9, he goes to 11. This takes him to 5 when he makes this attack. This Gore Howl has been ridiculous. Well, that's annoying. We just used both hexes, but we're going to have to figure out a way to play around it. It's not very good at killing off totems, you know. In other words, it's going to take it a while to actually die to my minions. Because it's 5 health and nothing is high. I just need a Bloodlust. Like 1 or 2 minions to stick in a Bloodlust and we're fine. That's a good card because it's a heal. It's really good. Stupidly good for him. He just gained 4 health that turn instead of a few. So alright, we're still going wide. It's good. Taunt Totem would be nice. Yeah, that'll work. He might have to use his weapon on this. I still need a Fire Alley. It's another good card because it's armor. Oh, he whiffed on the minion though. That's good. That's important. That gives us ahead, I think. We just need a good card here. What we don't want is Argent Squire. Wouldn't even be that bad actually, but he had to kill this because it was too easy of a trade for me. That's a good play. It's the right decision. Jade Lightning. I give him a 1/1, but I summon a 6/6, so that is certainly worth it. Actually, we may not have to give him a 1/1. Do we want to try to give him another totem? Yeah, because this is an execute activator. So we want to make... if he can get the healing totem, that's certainly better. Does she die first, or is there a chance she gets the 6/6? I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Oh, no. Wow! Wow! First off, I didn't know that interaction. Secondly, that sucks. That she won the 1 and 3. Like, that is so bad. He should hit me in the face. That's a good card. Another Jade Lightning would be insanely good. This is not bad. But a Taunt Totem would sure help. Oh. That probably means this lives. I can't believe that Sylvanas got the 6/3. That's so stupid. Revenge is actually not as good for him because it threatens his own minion. Did he get executed? I'm not sure I would have done that way, honestly. Alright, more stuff. He has 9 damage. Bash does not kill me. Revenge wrecks me, but I gotta go for it. We're gonna get the Fire Ellie soon, so... I'm attacking... I don't even know if I played the other Jade Golem. This game has gone on so stupidly long at this point that... I don't know. I'm just go... in case I draw the other weapon, I want to be able to attack with it immediately, right? So... Shield Slayer! I've never seen that. I've never seen that. This is lethal. Oh! What a game. Oh my gosh. That was the craziest thing I've ever seen. We gave Sylvanas a 6/6. So I don't know how we won that game. Did not think he's running Brawl on 5. He hit the second Brawl at the exact right time. Oh. Wow. That was a cool game, honestly. For a budget deck, I've never seen a game quite that cool. That was fantastic. So, that's going to do it for me in the budget Jade Shaman. Unfortunately, we had some substantial misplays in that video, so forgive me for those. It's silly mistakes. That happens, but that doesn't have to happen to you. I think you still saw how the deck can succeed. I mean, we won 2 games, right? We won our first game pretty decidedly, and the Priest shut us out. That'll happen from time to time. It's a budget deck. He had AoE. We're a wide board deck. That's bound to happen. You gotta take those on the chin. But you could see in that third game how, even though this is a super budget deck, even though we don't have any legendary cards, even though we're playing a super control-oriented deck with a lot of removal, some big scary minions, a lot of legendaries. We still were able to play almost to fatigue against that control warrior. And he had like the Super Gorehowl and Ragnaros and Taunts and Double Brawl. And we still went to like, we had 2 cards left and we dug out a win. Because we were able to keep summoning minions, keep refilling our board. It was such a nuisance, little taunts here, little healing minions there. We were able to dig out the win. So that's incredibly impressive that this deck can both succeed in early to mid-game aggression, but it can also burn out control decks as a viable mid-range deck. Because summoning that 7/7 Jade Golem at the end was crazy valuable, right? So these are low-cost cards, but they sure gain value, accelerate quickly, well, not necessarily quickly, but they accelerate over the course of a game to astounding minions that are very, very difficult for even super control decks to deal with. So I'm not happy with the quality of play necessarily, but I'm really happy with what we saw the deck accomplish. And I think you'll have fun playing this one. And if you're looking for Shaman, if you got some Jade Golem cards, you want to give it a shot, this is about as cheap as you can go, but still have a fun and competitive deck. So give this one a shot. If you have any thoughts, comments, or questions on this bad boy, leave them below. I'm happy to address them. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, game on.